Thank you very much, members of the Fourth Estate. Good morning, everyone. My name is Victor Radido Shuja. I am the Chief Commissioner, Kenya Scout Association, and the Chairman of the National Scouts Board and the official spokesperson of the association. We are here today to release a statement regarding the serious matter affecting the interest of scouting in Kenya. And this is in relation to a proposed 2 billion Baden-Powell Center of Excellence, which is supposed to be constructed in Nyeri, Kenya. We are therefore demanding for answers which will seek, we are demanding for questions which will seek some answers after this. Now, to go straight to my statement, the Kenya Scout Association, the National Scouts Organization, which is established under an Act of Parliament Cap 219, is demanding full transparency, accountability over the reported 2 billion project to acquire the land and construct a Baden-Powell Scouting Rove Excellence in Nyeri. The project is purportedly being promoted by the World Scout Parliamentary Union, commonly known as WSPU, Kenyan chapter, in partnership with the Nyeri County government, with support from Korean Scout Association and the Embassy of the Republic of Korea in Kenya. KSA therefore wishes to make it absolutely clear that we support investment in scouting, the development of this structure in Nyeri, and as a global Scouts heritage, we will always try as much as we can to work very closely with our partners for the benefit of young people in this country. However, we are deeply concerned with the major project being presented as a scouting initiative in Kenya without the involvement of the statutory body, that is the Kenya Scout Association. The questions that we intend to ask: where is KSA? The association, as I mentioned, is currently established under an Act of Parliament, Cap 219. The WSPU is formed through a standing order. The Act is stronger than the standing order. We are therefore demanding for a number of questions. One of the questions, we want to determine who made this assumption that Kenya Scouts requires such a project in Nyeri. Why was KSA not involved in the conception and development of this proposed 2 billion project? Who prepared the 2 billion budget, and what is the detailed project plan? Who owns or will own the proposed land and completed facility? Who is the legal beneficiary of the funds being mobilized? What governance, procurement, audit, and accountability mechanisms will apply in this purported project in Nyeri? If this is genuinely a project to support scouting in Kenya, why is the Scouts organization not involved? The Chief Scout is not aware, the Chief Commissioner is not aware, members of the National Board who are flanking me are not aware. It is important to note that what we are discussing is not an isolated project. Recently, there has been concerns and continuing pattern of WSPU Kenya becoming involved in activities that fall within the operational mandate of KSA, including planning, implementation of parallel youth programs and scouting-related training activities in Kenya. Most recently, there was a launch of something called University of Scouting, which to us we consider as a parallel training for our Rover Scouts in Kenya. We therefore must ask very plainly, under what mandate is Parliamentary Caucus establishing and running scouting training structures and programs? Scouting programs, training, youth activities, insignia, and the administration of the Scout movement are matters that KSA is mandated to oversee under the legal framework governing the scouting in Kenya. WSPU should be purporting and strengthening scouting, not creating a parallel structures that compete with or circumvent KSA. It is important for the public to note that this WSPU has continued to form what is called a federation. In other countries, there are federations which are established through the global office, that is the World Scouts organization. But in Kenya, we do not have such kind of a structure in Kenya. And as such, WSPU cannot purport to represent us whatsoever. And in any case, their work should start in Parliament and stop in Parliament. Anything they do should be done within the presence of Parliament, not outside Parliament. Anything done outside Parliament is considered an illegality. And that is why we are here to stop it in the strongest term possible and make it very clear, even to the Speaker of the National Assembly, that this shenanigan has to stop once and for all. WSPU should also be seen as a bridge between Parliament and scouting, not a bridge over KSA. What they're trying to do, they're trying to form kind of a bridge over KSA, using KSA name to solicit for funds, which are meant to support activities of scouting in Kenya, not supporting the adult activities as per what they do. We respect the important role that parliamentarians play in championing youth development and supporting scouting. However, parliamentary advocacy must not evolve into the creation of a parallel scouting institution. This is absolutely in bad faith and against the laws of Kenya. I will therefore again call upon the Speaker of the National Assembly to clarify to us and members of the public, because this Kenya belongs to all of us and we are governed by the rule of law. So the Speaker should come out openly and clarify how and why Parliament continues to oversee, fund, and support WSPU Kenya in interfering with scouting activities, the largest youth movement in Kenya with over 4.2 million young people. What do you expect from these young people when they see Parliament meddling with the affairs of scouting in Kenya and nobody's speaking about it? And the only thing we can do is to speak to members of the public through the press so that they know that this thing has gone for far too long. And we are saying again, they should not take our kindness to be our weakness. We've tried as much as we can to involve them in so many meetings so that we can bring peace, but it seems they are doing what is known as deliberate provocation to see how we are reacting. We again call upon the Speaker to ensure that parliamentary structures, privileges, and resources are not used to undermine an institution that is established under the Kenyan law. We also call upon one Honorable KJ, who has been the problem from the beginning. He is currently the global president of WSPU, to explain the role WSPU intends to play in Kenya and how that role is consistent with the mandate of Parliament caucus. We similarly call upon the WSPU president, Honorable Tabitha Mutinda, president of Kenya, to clarify whether WSPU Kenya's intention is to support KSA or to establish a parallel scouting structure. There are serious institutional questions that deserve clear answers. And I want to send a message to Korean government. KSA is aware of and concerned about reports that the proposed Center of Excellence is being funded or supported by the Korean Scouts Association and Embassy of the Republic of Korea in Kenya. We value this friendship between the two organizations and recognize the important contribution they make in this scouting movement. However, our friendship and international cooperation must be anchored in respect for the law and proper institutional processes. We therefore caution the Korean Scouts Association and the Embassy of the Republic of Korea in Kenya against supporting what KSA considers to be an illegality disguised as scouting support. To us, we are considering that as a scandal in the making. Before committing or disbursing funds, providing technical support, facilitating land acquisition, or otherwise advancing this project, we call upon them to undertake full legal and institutional due diligence. We ask them to publicly clarify the following. Who exactly is receiving or administering this funding? Under what legal mandate is the project being undertaken? Who will own, govern, and manage the completed facility? Why has KSA not been centrally involved in the project presented as a major scouting initiative in Kenya? Don't they see this as a red flag? Genuine international support for scouting should strengthen legitimate national scouting institutions, not create parallel structures or bypass them. We therefore urge all Korean partners involved to pause a bit and reconsider their support until the fundamental institutional and legal questions are satisfactorily addressed. There has been a memorandum of understanding between WSPU Kenya and Kenya Scouts. We entered this memorandum in good faith with expectation of cooperation in mutual support. However, KSA considers the conduct complained or to constitute a serious departure from the spirit of that understanding. And I want you to listen to this because we have carefully thought about it. We have consulted the entire board, the council, and our members. And we are therefore formally denouncing the existing memorandum of understanding between WSPU Kenya and Kenya Scouts Association. We will take all the necessary institutional and legal measures to protect KSA's statutory mandate, identity, property, members, and integrity of scouting in Kenya. We are therefore telling our members from today onwards to stop associating with WSPU. We don't recognize them, we will not work with them, and let them not try to use our name to solicit for funds. We shall not allow that to happen. And Parliament must come out very strongly to condemn the two individuals. And if for anything, it is not all parliamentarians. There are just a few individuals, not more than 3 people, interfering with a legally established body like this. It's high time they be stopped. Because after denouncing this, what we have done, we shall now start the process of recruiting parliamentarians who are friendly to scouting and have the interests of scouts at heart. And we shall be looking for those who have been scouts in schools because they understand our values, they understand our principles, and they know how to operate. Not those who are hijacking the movement at adult age and do not know what the movement stands for. We are demanding for the full disclosure of the 2 billion project and its detailed implementation plan. We are demanding for the disclosure of the source, administration, and the intended use of the proposed funds. We are demanding for the disclosure of ownership, arrangements for the proposed land, and completed facility. We are demanding for identification of the legal entity that will own and operate that center. We are demanding for this disclosure of all parties involved in fundraising, negotiations, and project development. We are demanding for a clear explanation of why KSA is being excluded from the project. We are demanding for disclosure of any pledges, grants, or financial arrangements already made. An immediate end to any representation that WSPU Kenya is the statutory national scouting organization in Kenya. They should not be accepted in any office by the name of scouting. WSPU Kenya does not represent, speak on behalf of Kenya Scout Association in any capacity, anywhere. And we know after this, they are used to threatening. Let them try me. They know very well that I am in charge of the organization together with Kaimenyi, and we shall use any available means to approach them and deal with them head on. We are again demanding for an immediate clarification of WSPU Kenya's mandate in relation to scouting programs, training, and youth activities. Finally, we are demanding for full legal and institutional due diligence by all international partners supporting the proposed project. Scouting in Kenya has a legal identity. KSA is not opposed to the development of the training centers. We are not opposed to the development of the campsites. We are not opposed to the leadership academies. We are not opposed to technology and innovation. We are not opposed to anything because we want international partnership. We want greater investments in Kenyan's youth program. But such kind of development must be pursued lawfully, transparently, and in partnership with the legitimate national institution responsible for scouting in Kenya. Scouting belongs first and foremost to the young people who wear the Scouts uniform, serve their communities, and live its values. They deserve transparency, they deserve accountability, they deserve properly governed institutions, and they deserve adults who put in the interest of young people above institutional rivalry. Before any shilling is raised, any acre is acquired, or any foundation stone is laid, we are asking, who is the beneficiary of this 2 billion project? This is scandal. If the answer is scouting in Kenya, then why is Kenya Scout Association not at the center of the project? Scouting in Kenya has a legal identity. Scouting in Kenya has a national institution. Scouting, that is the Kenya Scout Association, the institution that runs scouting in Kenya. We are here with these people to confirm to members that we shall be able to defend our mandate. We shall be able to defend our integrity. And we shall be able to defend the interest of the millions of young people whom we serve and those who have trusted us with leadership. Finally, we shall also be pursuing another approach of meeting the patron, because the patron of this Scouts movement is the president. And very soon, we are meeting the patron. And one of the items that will be placed before the patron is the perennial interference of WSPU with scouting activities in Kenya. And the president must also demand for the full disclosure of this 2 billion project that is purported to be done in favor of scouting activities. That is the end of my statement, and I must thank you all.